Okay, so in today's video, we're going to talk about if BFA is as bad as everyone say it is, if it's truly trash game or if it's a true masterpiece. Alright, so let's just jump straight into the pros and the cons of playing BFA. We're going to start off with the pros. I've written a few down here, so we're going to talk a bit about them. One of the major pros of playing BFA is the storyline. The storyline is truly amazing. Blizzard has done such a great job at really making stories that you really get encapsulated in. You can really feel them. You start to feel for the characters, and it just all turns out great. Like, the storyline's good, and if you haven't tried it, at least try it for that, if you do enjoy that kind of stuff. A lot of the criticism BFA often gets, and a lot of the newer WoW expansion gets, is that there just isn't a lot of content. And I don't know, personally for me, I don't think that's true. Like, I've been playing it for 3 weeks, and I've had so much stuff to do. It's been super insane. Like, I've been playing for like at least 6 hours, maybe 8 hours a day, sometimes even more on the weekends. And I always have stuff to do. Like, even if it be Mythic Plus, go to a raid, do some more raids, do it on normal mode. Fuck LFR, because no one cares about it. The gear's bad. And, you know, do a lot of world quests, do some arenas, battlegrounds. There's a lot of stuff to do. You can get in, get out. You can play it all day. It might. I've heard a lot of people say that it might get worse over time. So the fact that like all this content kind of becomes obsolete at some point. But I haven't hit that yet. If that does become the case, I'll be sure to make another video on it. Another pro of BFA is the raids. The raids are one of the few aspects of World of Warcraft that has just become better and better and better with time. Like, Blizzard keeps one-upping themselves and making even better raids every single time. And like, I know a lot of people play World of Warcraft purely for the raiding scene, and everything else is just like kind of a filler. And if that's your case, I'll definitely try out BFA, because Battle for the Tsar lore, it's truly amazing. It's really good. Another great pro is Mythic Plus. Mythic Plus is a great system. It's really fun, it's really engaging, and the dungeons of BFA are really good. You know, I guess again, I've only run them for about 3 weeks, so I can't really say if I have gotten tired of them yet, because so far at least I haven't gotten tired of them yet. But I'm really enjoying them, and especially Mythic Plus. You can really feel that the dungeons was created with Mythic Plus in mind. And when some of the mechanics gets really rough, like they start dealing a lot of damage, you really have to like not stand in anything, and you really gotta constantly look at your screen, like what's gonna happen next, which ability is the boss doing, and I think it's great. Mythic Plus is really fun in here. Another great pro of BFA is the class system. The classes are really good. I've only had a chance to try out 2 so far, but it feels like there's so much depth to them. Even though you don't have a shit ton of abilities, they still do require a lot of skill to play at a high level. It's not like playing a hunter or a mage in raids like in vanilla. It's just, you gotta constantly watch your bars, your weak auras, and, you know, constantly be aware of where you're at. The classes have so much depth, and there's really a high skill ceiling between a decent and a really good player. This is especially true in Arena. So yeah, the class systems are really good, at least for Warrior, which I personally main right now. It's a really good class, and I think there's a lot of depth to it, and I'm really enjoying playing it. And of course, we also, when we talk about the pros, we gotta talk about the cons of BFA. So we're just gonna start it off with World Quest. I know everyone hates World Quests, and to some degree I don't think fondly of them either. World quests are fine, they serve a purpose, which I'm fine with. And some of the world quests are like, they're fine. They're not that bad. You go in, you kill one mob, you get out, that's it, you're done. But over time, world quests really start to become an annoyance. Especially the ones you grind for AP. Because it feels like you're really not getting much out of it, and it takes up like at least an hour every day of doing world quests. And it's one of my cons for BFA. World quests, I don't know how they could do them better. I'm not even sure you even can do them much better. They're just not that fun to do. Another con of BFA is the fact that LFR is still a thing. And LFR is shit. It's horrible. I've done it. I've run it twice. It's awful. Everyone's bad. No one does anything. It's shit. But at the same time, LFR doesn't really feel important anymore because the gear you get in Mythic Plus is so much better by miles. So LFR is not really that important. Another con of BFA is the Dungeon Finder system. I'm not a big fan of the Dungeon Finder system, but it serves a purpose again, allows for you to easily get into dungeons. It's not that important anymore, because, like, no one runs heroics in normal dungeons. Like, no one. Like, you don't get anything good out of them ever, like, after 5 days of playing. So, even though it is a con, it's not a big con because it doesn't really matter, because you don't have to do them. You don't have to use the Dungeon Finder. So yeah. There's also tier sets. Tier sets, the fact that there aren't tier sets at BFA, I know a lot of people was very upset about that. Personally, I kind of like tier sets. I thought they were cool. It gave you a little bit of extra oomph whenever you got 2 or 4 pieces. But at the same time, I feel like the Azerite system that they put in instead really does the trick a lot better than tier sets. The fact that you can choose your Azerite traits, hunt different items that gives the perfect traits, I feel like it's actually a much better system than tier sets. And I want to give kudos to Blizzard for that, because I think they really did well on that. Like, I really like the Azerite armor system. I know a lot of people that hate it. I know a lot of people hate it with a true passion. And they have said they're gonna make a lot of changes to it in the upcoming patch. So, you know, we'll see what that entails. There's professions. A lot of people really like the way professions work in the older World of Warcrafts, like Vanilla and TBC, and I think they kind of have gotten a little bit back to that. Like, you don't get like insane stuff from them, but you can craft some really valuable items that can replace a lot of mythic gear actually. In like, for example, the engineering head is 415 item level, which is equivalent to a mythic piece. And it's, I think, the 6th best for warrior, so it's up there. Professions have really gotten a lot better in BFA than they were in previous expansions. They're definitely worthwhile doing. You can make a lot of gold on mining and herbalism and all that, and the ones that craft items can actually make you valuable items. Now let's talk about gated content. Gated content feels a little bit bad. It's definitely a con for me. Personally, like, if I want to do, let's say, a rep grind, like I've had to do with the Champions of Azeroth rep grind to get up my next item level, I like to just pick out a weekend and just sit my ass down and grind that shit insanely hard. You can't do that in BFA. It's gated. You have to do world quests that respawn every day, and I'm not a big fan of that. I like to be a master of my time and say, today I'm gonna do this, and be able to just spend the entire day doing that. But you can't really in BFA, and that's a big con for me. There's a lot of content that's gated behind time, and I'm not really a fan of that. Some other people do enjoy it, because it feels more like you're actually questing than you're on an eternal grind. But personally, for me, I prefer the grind. Now, speaking of grinds, there's the artifact power grind for your neck. This is a long one. It takes a while. I've hit, I think 37 or 38 in the time of about 3 weeks, which is really good. But then again, I have been going hard on it. A lot of people really don't enjoy the AP grind because it takes out a lot of your time doing world quests. You'll get artifact power from doing basically anything in the game, where be it island expeditions, be it battlegrounds, arenas, raids, dungeons, whatever, world quests. So you'll get it whatever you really do. But if you really want to go hard for it and get a lot of it fast, it can really feel like a grind, and not a good grind, a bad grind. So that's definitely one of the cons of BFA as well. Alright, so here's the conclusion of the video. If you were thinking about BFA, or not even thinking about it at all, my personal opinion is that you should give it a try. With 8.1, it's a great expansion, it's a great patch, the game runs flawlessly, it's fun, it's really engaging to play. You can play it for as many hours a day as you want and still have stuff to do. I've personally really been enjoying myself. I'm gonna start streaming in a bit. And if you're on the fence, I hope this video really helped you like figure out if it's something for you, or even if it isn't something for you. Then, you know, you can figure out that. I'm having fun. I think you should try it. And if you do try it, be sure to follow me on Twitch, where I'll be streaming it every once in a while. I will also still stream private servers, just not as much. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Remember to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment if you disagree with me or if you do agree with me. And as always, boys, stay classic.